Now, if I really had to list my top 3 favorite Star Wars films out of the entire Skywalker saga, they would definitely have to be The Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, and Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. And so with that being said, let's discuss about something that George Lucas originally intended to do for Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, one thing about Star Wars as a whole that so many fans love about this is that it's like basically poetry, it rhymes all the time, and basically the very center of the story is family. That's really what Star Wars is, and that's what George Lucas stated many times, is that it's not really about spaceships and lightsabers. It's about family, and it's about the struggles between fathers, sons, brothers, and, everything related to it in that sense. And that's what I like so much about this series. Now, everything related to the original trilogy, which, by the way, is my favorite trilogy of the Skywalker saga. There is no denying that, and I'm sure a lot of you guys out there will agree with me on this. But everything related to George Lucas, we do know that he worked very hard on Star Wars A New Hope, The Empire Strikes Back, and even Return of the Jedi, and among other projects out there before. And when we look at George, he really is a true visionary. I mean, he is the creator of Star Wars, who created this brand new mythology that they never saw in the 1970s. Back in 77, once it released, it was a smash success movie, and a lot of people loved it. Now, I want to go over Luke's original father by George Lucas. When The Empire Strikes Back was under development by creator George Lucas, Lawrence Kasdan, and Brackett, they went through many concepts for one of the biggest reveals in their planned Star Wars trilogy back in the 70s and 80s. Creator George Lucas went through many revelations that would challenge the main hero, Luke Skywalker, of who the father should be for Luke in the second film of his trilogy. Now, in the original drafts of the film's script, George and Lawrence Kasdan went through many ideas of how to handle the reveal of who Luke's father really was. Of course, the final and last choice was Darth Vader / Anakin Skywalker. However, in the original drafts of the script, George at one point in time wrote an entire sequence with Lawrence Kasdan to make Obi-Wan Kenobi to be revealed as Luke's father in The Empire Strikes Back. That would be revealed to be, of course, to be revealed by Luke Skywalker by Darth Vader, where this decision was a full scene for the moment Luke travels over to Cloud City. Now, however, originally the revelation will be made without Luke losing his hand, and that originally Luke was actually going to keep his hand from Darth Vader after their lightsaber duel. The choice to change the revelation by George was to create something that would truly scare the audience, something that would be so unbelievable by making the main villain out to be Luke's father the entire time, and who Kenobi was really talking about. When George intended for Kenobi to be Luke's father, he intended to make the scene reflect on the scene in A New Hope from a certain point of view. And however, George realized that it would make a bigger impact on the audience if he developed such a reveal that nobody would have expected to have witnessed by making Vader Luke's father. This was a decision that was made back in 1978 when they were writing the script for The Empire Strikes Back, after the success of Star Wars A New Hope, and that George wanted to create a revelation that would change everything. So let's go over a couple of parts about this and as to why this would have been a very interesting twist if George actually stuck with this. Now, obviously, the better choice was making Darth Vader Luke's father, without a doubt. It just makes more sense. It ties directly into A New Hope better when Kenobi's talking about how his father was a Jedi Knight and how he was murdered and stuff around those lines. Very interesting. But the thing about George, we do know that with a lot of his Star Wars films that he has worked on is that he went through many different ideas, many different concepts before the script was actually finalized. And this was by far one of the most interesting choices that George made. And you can only imagine if he did not choose to make Darth Vader Luke's father. Would The Empire Strikes Back really be as iconic as it was, with that particular moment in which Luke realizes exactly who his father really is? Now, this would have been different because this would have been a moment in which Luke realizes that Darth Vader literally killed his own father, Obi-Wan Kenobi, in Star Wars A New Hope. And that would have also been, quite tragic for Luke, without a doubt, the fact that he was fighting alongside his father the entire time. But when we think about George, right, he is a visionary, he is a creator, he went through many ideas for the prequels and the originals and the original drafts, and this by far is one of my favorite ones. It really is on the top of the list, such as the original idea that George had for Return of the Jedi, of bringing back Obi-Wan Kenobi to life on the Endor, the Forest Moon of Endor during the Endor celebration. That was also an original idea for episode 6 that never came to fruition. So, about this that's so impressive, though, it really does make you think, right? If they actually chose to stick with Obi-Wan Kenobi being Luke's father, would The Empire Strikes Back have been as successful as it was back then in 1980 when Vader was revealed to be Luke's father? I feel that Vader being Luke's father was really the core part of The Empire Strikes Back that really made it stand out, apart from the excellent filmmaking, of course, by Lawrence, George, and Brackett. So, with that being said, guys, I would really like to hear what each and every one of you have to say about this below in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to moon we hear them moans again.